Howdy folks, and welcome to the very first episode of Voltz Supreme Synth VGM Dream Stream Machine Podcast, where we will play the synthiest synth video game tunes in the universe. Well, seeing as it's our very first episode, I thought I'd need to kick things off with a very special guest. Fellas and Sheilas, I give to you all the way from Brooklyn, New York, the famous hip-hop historian, Donnie Smalls. Welcome, Donnie.
Well, thank you, Voltz. It's a real pleasure and an honor to be on your very first podcast episode. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So, Donnie, you're obviously well known as being an acclaimed hip-hop historian, but why don't you tell us why you'd be a good fit as a guest on this show?
Yeah, good question, Voltz. The simplicity of this question is this. When it comes to the golden era of hip-hop music, and I'm talking about 1988 to 1996, roughly speaking, you cannot separate the influence that hip-hop had on video game music and also the impact that video game music had on hip-hop. I mean, you think of the growth in that period of both hip-hop as an art form and the fact that we got Famicom through to Sony PlayStation. I mean, it's incredible. And let's be honest, folks, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. I'm going to play video games, period.
Yeah, I know exactly what I mean. All right, let's kick things off with the track. Here we go. I can't think of a better song to start things off with than this one. And of all places, this tune is stashed away in a Final Fantasy minigame. It's honestly one of the funkiest video game tunes I've ever heard. So let's kick things off with Naoshi Mitsuda's Serendipity from Final Fantasy 13-2.
That was a killer beat. I mean, just serious, wicked funk.
Yeah, oh man, it's so good. That bass is excellent. And those little runs at the end of the solos, they never get old. Look, I totally recommend getting the Final Fantasy 13-2 soundtrack. It really is good. But honestly, that song is like a kangaroo chasing a boomerang. You seriously won't hear another song even slightly similar to it in the whole soundtrack. But anyway, yeah, so Donnie, you like that one?
I believe that's what George Clinton was talking about when he described the pimping of the pleasure principle. I just really love that whole shebang, Voltz. As soon as it started, I'm like, yeah, baby, I'm back in Donnie Town. And then the saxophone and the flute came in, and I had to go replace my headphones.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, Up next is Media Blues by Too Mellow from the game 2064 Read Only Memories. And this song and the last song go out to Zach the Phazon Masher.
Oh, yes. Too Mellow is definitely my scene. Very nice.
All right, here it comes.
Talk about synth dream machine.
Yeah, pretty nice stuff. That was Media Blues from 2064, Read Only Memories by Too Mellow. We'll definitely play some more from that game in the future, that's for sure. But now we're going to go straight to playing a track that you brought in for us, Donnie.
Oh yes, the first one, right. Bare Knuckle, Streets of Rage 2, Yuzo Koshiro. Need I say any more? I mean, someone passed me a sweater. We are talking about the Sega Genesis here, with its famous Yamaha YM2612 chip, and which, let's be honest, it actually made a lot of the Genesis soundtracks sound good, but you just hear the same sounds in every game. Now all of a sudden, Yuzo Koshiro and Motohiro Kawashima come along in 1992, and they create a soundtrack for Streets of Rage, and suddenly you got techno boffins in their modern day technology grinding their tape decks, trying to pop with this kind of wacky that Yuzo and Motohiro achieved on the Sega Genesis. I mean, this is real gangster techno right here, folks. Real gangster techno.
Yeah, I totally get it. And I think even Streets of Rage 3 steps it up even more. I mean, it's not really that enjoyable to listen to, but I don't think anything else on the Genesis, as far as I know of, comes near to it as far as production goes. Maybe we'll get some Streets of Rage 3 songs in another time, but alright, let's hear it. What do you got for us?
Okay, this is Alien Power by Yuzo Koshiro from Streets of Rage 2. Just listen, folks. Just remember, this is the Sega Genesis. We're listening to this. This is 1992. Sega Genesis, people. Sega Genesis. Come on.
Alien Power by Yuzo Koshiro from Streets of Rage 2.
Sega Genesis, people, just remember, that's Sega Genesis right there. Oh my goodness.
Alright, next track we have is another one that Donnie has brought in, and it's from a game called Pit People.
That's right.
I've never actually played this, but I hear it's a pretty wild game. Have you played this before, Donnie?
Yes, folks. Look, I don't think I can explain this game. It's quite an experience, to say the least. If you're looking for a hilarious strategy game, you'll love Pit People. Seriously, it's out of this world. You need to try it and experience for yourself. It's not real.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to give it a go. Is it known as a multiplayer game?
I believe so, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
many.
right. No worries. Tell us what the music's like.
Okay. Well, folks, the For Pit People soundtrack by Patric Catani is very, very, let's just say it's a very eclectic soundtrack, and the music is just a lot of fun. There's a bit of hip-hop, which obviously I love, and there's some really cartoony tunes with a great sense of humor. It's all over the shop, and it's really crazy, it's really good, it's really fun, it's just, I don't know. We're gonna hear a small side of it, but it's quite a crazy soundtrack, and you gotta hear it for yourself to really experience it. It's the same as the game.
Yeah, sounds interesting. So why did you pick this particular track for us?
Sure. Well, the soundtrack isn't strictly synthesizer heavy, but this track definitely brings the bacon. But really, I think the main reason I like this song so much is that there was a section that reminds me of one of my favorite massages.
A massage?
You know, when they go full kung fu chop suey on your back. You know. It's a great satisfaction. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so?
This is No Gravity by Patric Catani. Just enjoy the beats. Enjoy the beats.
was No Gravity by Patric Catani from the game Pit People.
Yeah, are you really feeling loose and slender after that last bit?
Yeah, thanks, Donnie. All right, let's move on to our second last track. I really have no idea about the context of this next track. It's from a game called Risk of Rain, which is a 2D Metroidvania platformer from 2013. The soundtrack was by Greek composer Christodoulou. The song, I think, is called 25 3 degrees north, 91 7 degrees east. Like I said, I have no idea about the context, but I just imagine that there is a huge world map, and when you find this exact coordinate, you enter this secret area, and this tune is playing. And I'm pretty sure that's not it. But hey, it's a cool idea. How about some of you developers hide some random songs in your game? Anyway, I think you'll all enjoy this. It's a really dreamy track with some nice guitar melodies. 25, 3 degrees north, 91, 7 degrees east by Christodoulou from the game Risk of Rain. Enjoy. was 25, 3 degrees north, 91, 7 degrees east by Christodoulou from the game Risk of Rain. Thanks everyone for tuning in to Voltz Supreme's Synth VGM Dream Stream Machines first episode. Yeah, I can't really promise this will be a regular thing, but I can tell you if I see lots of likes, shares, decent ratings, all these kind of things, I'll be a lot more keen to keep pumping out these episodes. I got a ton of synth video game music to share with you all, and I hope that I can get some of you guys on the show to share some of your favorites as well, and we can synth away together. So yeah, thanks again. I think we'll leave you now with one of my remixes from my latest remix album, Synth VGM Remixes Volume 3, Underwater and Slightly Moist Themes Part 2. I'll talk more about that on another episode, but for now, here is a remix of David Wise's classic Donkey Kong Country tune, Aquatic Ambience, performed on the Roland SH-101, the Roland Alpha Juno 2, the Moog Little Fatty, and Propellerhead's Reason 10. Thank you all once again, and thanks, Donnie. Thanks for joining us.
No worries, Voltz. I'm not doing much these days, so if you want to have me on another time, that would be great. Yeah, I hope to be on another time. See you next time.
See you, Donnie.
Bye.
And see you all, and remember to stay synthetic.